Welcome, everybody, to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast right here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, brought to you by GamblersWorld.com. My name is Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com, and I'm joined by Mr. Jesse Shule of JesseShule.com, Mr. Sean Higgs of PicksandParleys.net. Boys, a little bit of a rough day yesterday, going 1-2. Jesse, the only shining light with the Chicago Cubs, who I think have won 7 of 8 right now, right, Jesse?
I believe so. I believe Pittsburgh's lost 8 straight now, Sean. 8 straight. Well, I mentioned that because Sean corrected me yesterday and I double checked it. It was 7 and now it's 8.
Mr. Higgs?
He's muted.
I muted it up. I'm sorry. I thought they had lost 9 in a row. You know, I write them down the day before, right? And then it's early time, but I'm on new time, so I mess up my games. I thought they lost 9 in a row. It is 8 in a row. I'm sorry. You were right. I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was a loss ahead of my thoughts.
Well, the show went 1-2. I went 1-2 with my premiums, but in my opinion, if you think 1-2 is a really bad day at betting sports, you don't have a lot of experience betting sports.
Yeah, some guy. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was gonna say, I Perez. Are you kidding me? 9 Ks in 6 innings. No score into the 7th. I lose 2-0. I don't mind losing a game like that at a 105. If you can't take it, I'm going to take this. I'll take that loss. If I get that, that's fine. I mean, come on. That in the long run, right? In baseball,
yeah.
Got what, 15 games a day for 6 months. Those balance out.
I mean, if you're betting on Kikuchi tossing no-nos and shutouts, you're not going to do too well in the long term, are you?
No, not at all. And, somebody chimed in to say we were terrible after going 1-2. And guess what? I removed the comment because he was the first time he gave us any comments. And folks, if you're going to come right out of the gate doing that after we went 4-0 on Friday, chances are you're going to be habitual. It's not like we don't mind if somebody disagrees with us, but to attack us on a personal level over a 1-2 day is just not necessary. And we want to keep it positive here. So we own up when we lose. So, you're not enlightening us when you say, you guys went 1-2. Really? Really? Number one, it's on tape. Number two, you don't think we were aware of what we had yesterday? And I had
especially a frustrating I mean, really, Kansas City won nothing.
Yeah.
Like I had run line Detroit yesterday. How do you bet Kansas City that they're 3-16? They're on a 3-16 run.
Yeah.
No, thank you. That's definitely a no play kind of team for me.
Yeah, it's not like Detroit sets the world on fire, but by the same token, they're a much better team, even with the record they're at. And what's Detroit? They're only like 4 or 5 games out of first place in that terrible division, the AL Central. So, you know how bad Kansas City is, Sean? They're like 14 or 15 games out of first place in the AL Central, which the leader right now, I believe, Minnesota. What are they, 500 or just below 500?
They're 2 games under, and Kansas City at 20-53 are 15.5 back.
Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, all right, let's get to today's games. Let's talk about today, and we got 3 good ones to discuss. Mr. Shule is going to be looking at the Padres and the Giants. Intriguing matchup there in the NL West, the red-hot San Francisco Giants. While Sean will be looking at the Battle of L.A., the L.A. Dodgers and the Angels. The Angels got cooled off a little bit by Clayton Kershaw yesterday and a 2-0 loss. And I'm going to be looking at the Texas Rangers and the Chicago White Sox. Again, the Rangers look like they're for real. But again, I look at this line and it's like minus 110 with the disparity in the team's records. So I'm going to touch upon that further. In any event, Jesse, let's start with you, buddy. You Darvish for the Padres, and it'll be Ryan Walker for the San Francisco Giants. That game goes at 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, I'm seeing San Diego is a minus 120 money line road favorite, and the total in this game is 8. What do you got for us, buddy?
Well, I'm not buying San Diego as a favorite here at all. Yu Darvish was once considered an ace of a few different staffs, but at 5-5 with a 4.74 ERA, He's pretty mediocre. In fact, the Padres have lost more games than they've won when he started. They're 6-7 in his 13 starts. He's got an ERA of 6.19 on the road. He did allow 4 runs on 9 hits in 6 innings and a no decision against San Francisco earlier in the year. You got the Giants, as you said, red hot. They're going for their 10th straight win tonight. You got a San Diego lineup that ranks 26th in the majors in team batting average. They're 3 games under 500, despite the big names, Soto, Tatis Jr., Bogarts, Manny Machado. They're not getting it done. And why is that going to change today? Sure, they got a young guy going for San Francisco, pulling a guy out of the bullpen, 2-0 with a 1.65 ERA, Ryan Walker. I'm not sure if they're using him as an opener or if they're actually going to let him go a few innings. But him and whoever's behind him can't be much worse than Yu Darvish at this point, or should be in the same neighborhood. And you know, San Francisco's at home. They're the better team. They're the dog. They're hot. San Diego's not. I'll take the plus money here.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that. So Jesse likes the San Francisco Giants at home, the red hot San Francisco Giants, plus 100 on the money line over to San Diego Padres. Sean, yeah, who would have thought at this juncture of the season, we're still not even to the halfway point, but if somebody would have told you on June 21st, the class of the NL West right now might be the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants, what would you say?
I would say no surprise with Arizona, because I have an Arizona win total over. I'm high on Arizona. But the Frisco, this team continues to win just bizarrely. Like, I mean, the pitching staff, you're like, who are these guys? The development of guys who come here and just refine themselves. Like Gausman was okay in Baltimore. He comes here, he looks like he's Cy Young. Alex Wood, Alex Cobb, Johnny Cueto, Anthony Scaffellini. I mean, guys come here and all of a sudden they turn into 6-inning pitchers who give up 1 run. It's ridiculous. I mean, and the lineup. Look at the lineup. Who are these guys? Okay, you heard of Michael Conforto. Everybody else is like a castaway or just kind of like a role guy, and they just what is there to say? I mean, coaching, front office. I mean, I talk about like the Cardinals as that kind of team. Like they just find ways to just always be kind of good and develop or whatever. Can we put San Francisco in this conversation? I mean, they never really kind of bottom out totally. They're just here all the time. And how are they 9 games over 500?
Yeah.
Yeesh. Listen, 9-game win streak. You're getting plus money. Why wouldn't we take them? Of course, I'm with you here. Darvish on road's been terrible. Jess, you know, I mean, you ran down a bunch of his starts, 6.19 ERA in a road. But like you said, he's like an ace. I just pulled up like his career, and he's had 2 seasons of more than 13 wins. I mean, his rookie year in Texas, 16-9, and then last year was 16-8. Look at these win totals: 13-10, 7-6, 4-1, 6-8-8. Now, granted, he had a couple injury years in there, you know, but I think, and I used to think Darvish was a really good pitcher. You look at his numbers, you're kind of like, all right, he's good, but there's not the wins there, and you're on teams that are underachieving, like this Padre team. I mean, what are the Padres doing? Kind of like the Mets. Are they sellers? They buyers? You got so much money invested. It's a tricky situation with a month to the trade deadline.
It certainly is. It shapes up to be a tremendous NL West race down the stretch. I just don't see San Diego fading away completely. But again, you're in a very good division. I just think the Dodgers aren't going to fade away either. But, you know, until you got to believe the Dodgers, and I hate to get off subject here, guys, but the Dodgers got to make a move with their bullpen. I know that Kershaw threw a gem last night and the tail end of their bullpen did well, but you look at their bullpen numbers, Sean and Jesse, and you got to believe if they think they have any chance at all, which I got to believe they do at this point anyway, and unless things drastically change over the next month where they go on a just fall off the cliff for whatever reason. The main thing they have to address is their bullpen, and if they do, I think they stay in the race. So where I'm going with this is not predicting the Dodgers to win the division, but this is going to be an interesting division over the last 3 months of the season. So looking forward to that. Just a friendly reminder, folks, you are watching the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel sponsored by gamblersworld.com. If you have not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's absolutely free. There's no strings attached, no hidden agenda. You get privy to four of the best handicappers in the country. And all three of us, and Doug Upstone also of DocSports.com, will be adding more to the roster. And pretty soon, hopefully after the All-Star break, we'll have our new website up called gamblersworld.net, where you'll be able to access myself, Jesse, and Sean's premium paid selections, which we haven't been able to offer to this point. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to adding some more great handicappers to the site. And don't forget, folks, we put a lot of time and effort into making sure that we make you the most well-informed sports bettor you can be on a daily basis, trying to make you a smarter sports bettor today than yesterday. Give us a like. It's just a small token of your appreciation to make Sean happy. Jesse, what do you want him to do with the like button? Hopefully you don't fade out.
Smash that like button.
All right. We heard smash. We definitely heard smash. There we go. All right. So where are we here? Sean,
Yes.
The Battle of LA. You're looking
Dodgers
at
and Angels. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dodgers and Michael Grove and Shohei Ohtani. And the LA Angels minus 158.5. You know, you gave us an interesting breakdown of Yu Darvish, which I agree with you wholeheartedly. He's one of those guys, you look at his stuff and you say, why isn't this guy even approached winning 20 games in a season? But then Jesse rattles off that he's like over 6 ERA on the road. And I look at Ohtani along the same way. I mean, he's a hell of a lot better hitter and outfielder, in my opinion, than pitcher. And that doesn't mean that he's not a very good pitcher, but for all the hype he gets, Sean, is he that dominant a starting pitcher to take notice? I mean, right now they're giving him a lot of weight at minus 150 against the Dodgers.
I mean, you look at what he did his last 2 full seasons. I mean, 318, a 233 ERA, strikeouts. I mean, I think he is. I think he's a pretty good pitcher.
Okay.
I'd say I do. I think, and I'm gonna say above because of everything he does at the plate as well, hitting 35, 40 homers. No, he's out there and he's good. But as you saw last couple starts, he gets a little hiccup sometimes, and he'll give up some runs. But are you going to get down on Ohtani for that? Because you see that with a lot of pitchers come in and throw a stinker 1 or 2 starts in a row, and they get tired or whatever, and it's like, all right, then they get back on the horse and go. No, I like Ohtani. I mean, what's there to say? The guy's going to command $500 million this offseason. Whether he's
again, is that $500 million? Is it derived from his hitting prowess and his outfield prowess, or are they paying him as a pitcher? I mean, I think most.
But you'll get both. If you're going to get 25, 30 starts out of a guy, and he's going to get what? Last year he was 15-9. Before that, 9-2 in 23 starts. But he's productive when he's out there. If you, you're going to pay him $50 million because he's going to hit you 37 homers too.
Yeah.
Right. So he'll hit 260, but let's be honest, 260 today is like hitting, 301 back in 87. He's going to give you power, and I don't care. I'll pay a pitcher. They pay pitchers now $30 million to come in and not go 6 innings and strike out 10 guys and give up 1 or 2 runs. I mean, you're going to go 6+ and get me 3 runs for the other team. Who's not signing up for that? Yeah. Why wouldn't you? I mean, let's talk about this. Will lead right into the Dodger kind of play here. You got Grove. They pull up here. The guy's got like an 80 ERA on a year, and the Dodgers, they'll go out and get a bullpen guy. They'll do what they got to. They got a deep minor leagues, but even their regular staff. I mean, Bueller's out for the year. Urias is hurt. I mean, they go at Syndergaard. I mean, Goslin. You got to love Kershaw as a Hall of Famer, but is he going to keep this up at his age with his injury history? They need some help here. And I had the Angels yesterday. Didn't get there. 2-0. I can't again. I lose a game 2-0. Those are frustrating for me. I don't know about you guys. You lose a game 2-0, 1-0. Like, come on, I can't get a clutch hit. You'd much rather lose a game 7-2 and be like, well, that was whatever. But I like them again today. I'm going to take them on the run line. Believe it or not, plus 130. Angels are still hot. I'm not buying on the Dodgers. Okay, they got a nice win last night with Kershaw. Well, the kid pitched today. Grove is not Kershaw. His numbers are terrible. I mean, they are 10 starts with or 7 games, 6 starts. He gives up hits. What are we at? 11-4 now run for the Angels. They're in second place. They're right on Texas's heels. Where'd they come from? Right? Where's Houston's kind of failing? They need some help. I'll go run line. I'm a run line kind of guy, and the way Grove gives up runs, wow. And plus off a shutout, I'm always on to a team after you get shut out and have a bad game like that. Like your
how many home runs is Grove given up this year? In how many innings?
Grove homers. You know what? Let me flip back to him.
Yeah, I just bring that up because I don't think a lot of people realize going into yesterday, the LA Angels were averaging 1.46 home runs per game. And that's right up there with the top teams in baseball. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. This team could mash. And they could, again, 1.46 home runs, I think somewhere around 105 home runs they've hit this season. And everybody thinks the Dodgers are a great power hitting team, and they are. They hit 116, but the Angels ain't far behind. And if they're facing a starting pitcher who's vulnerable to the long ball, that's why I asked you that question, Sean.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I got it coming up. Sorry,
Jesse. While we're waiting for Sean, what's your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to completely disagree with you, Ross. Couldn't disagree more. When you said that 158 is a high price for the Angels today, I'm telling you right now, that line's going to 170 before game time.
I don't recall saying it was a high price. Did I say that?
I think you said that they're giving Ohtani a lot of credit with the price 158, but I think they're not giving him enough credit. I think that price goes up to 170. You look at the Angels have a better record. They've got one more win than the Dodgers. A lot of momentum on their side. They've been winning. They've been closing that gap in the AL West. The Dodgers lost 10 of their last 15 overall. Bullpen struggled, and Grove's really bad. I mean, he's 0-2 with an 8.10 ERA. He was in the minors for a reason. So they got to yank him back up to the big leagues as a sacrificial lamb here. And another thing about Ohtani, what I find is the Angels get up to play. He's the guy that they get up to play when he starts. Whereas, which actually I was going to say to Sean, why the Angels might have lost yesterday. It could have been like a lull, a calm before the storm, because they were gearing up for today's game with Ohtani starting.
Ohtani, top 5 pitcher in baseball, Jesse, or no?
I'm not going to say that because he doesn't win 20 games, but potential. If he was just a pitcher, he would probably get there.
Look, I would take Ohtani on my staff anytime. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, when you put him in that elite status as a starting pitcher. Sean rattled off some numbers that were impressive. I guess he seems to have more hiccups through the course of a season, as you would refer to, Sean, than a lot of the elite starting pitchers in baseball do. I love him as a player. How could you not love him as a player? He's got a gun for an arm in the outfield, covers a lot of ground. He's got speed. He's got power. He hits for an average. Don't get me wrong, folks. I'm not saying I wouldn't take Ohtani. It's just that I don't consider him to be in a top 5 pitcher in all of baseball when it comes to starting pitchers right now. He's still better than most of the rest. Sean, go ahead. I was gonna
say Grove's given up 8 homers on the season. He gave up 4 in his last start against.
All right, and how many innings?
That is in 30 innings, 8 homers, 30 innings.
I mean,
he gives up hits. He's got a 160 whip.
You're talking about a guy
on base.
Yeah, let me tell you something, folks. When you got a starting pitcher that's given up 1 home run per a little over 4 innings pitched, like Grove is right now, and you look at the other side of the table and you see the Angels have smacked 105 home runs. They're averaging almost 1.5 home runs per game. And by the way, folks, a real good number for Major League Baseball is 1.25 home runs per game. They're at 1.46. And the Dodgers were like something like 1.61. So my point being is, when you got a guy who's that vulnerable to giving up the long ball, look at the other side of the table and see what type of team he's facing. If they're a power-laden team, boy, oh boy, that looks even more inviting. So I agree with these guys. I think the Angels are definitely to play tonight. And, I don't see Grove maybe at the best given 5 innings. And then you got to sweat with the Dodgers bullpen.
Yep.
So
that's the final thing. Like the bullpen for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Questionable. I know, real fast, because it's not what people want to listen to, but where would you, if you're taking 5 pitchers, what 5 guys are you taking right now? I mean, McClanahan, who else? I think Cole, you got to put Cole in that thing right now. Maybe Framber Valdez, maybe Zach Gallen. I mean, why wouldn't you throw Ohtani in there? I guess Kershaw, he's still putting up good numbers, but there's really not that many guys having years where you're like, wow.
A guy who's quietly having a real good year is Nathan Eovaldi of Texas. Just bring that up because if you really look at the raw data, he's right up there. But now, would you consider him a top 5 pitcher?
Exactly.
Well, no. We're talking about the guys that Sean has mentioned have put up great numbers for a minimum of
a couple
3
years.
Yeah. So there we go. All right, let me get to my game real quick here, and I'm going to be covering the Texas Rangers at the Chicago White Sox. It'll be Martin Perez on the mound for the Texas Rangers. Michael Kopech for the Chicago White Sox. I'm going to look at the first 5 line here. Texas minus 115, and the Chicago White Sox are minus 105, and that's my area of concentration. I just I'll get to later why I decided to go with the first 5. In terms of this starting pitching matchup, I just think that Michael Kopech is much better than Martin Perez right now. Martin Perez's last 4 starts on the road, an 8.55 ERA and a 2.10 WHIP. And here we go again, guys. 6 home runs allowed in 20 innings pitched in those 4 starts. That's a home run per a little over 3 innings pitched, and that's not good for a starting pitcher. Perez also in his career at Chicago against the White Sox, 4 career starts in that situation, and a 6.84 ERA and a 1.56 WHIP. So he's not pitched well at this ballpark in his career. Michael Kopech quietly sailing along here. His last 6 starts, a 1.77 ERA and 0.93 WHIP. However, he only averages 5.9 innings pitched per start. That's not bad. I shouldn't say only. But the point being is you're depending on a Chicago White Sox bullpen to make a full game pick. And right now, I don't trust the Chicago White Sox bullpen whatsoever. Last 7, a 5.14 ERA, 1.54 WHIP at home this year, a 5.25 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. And when you look at Texas, they're a little over 2 over their last 7 games. So they didn't do well last night. They blew a lead last night. But having said all that, I want to eliminate the bullpens here, focus in on a starting pitching matchup. And I think the starting pitching matchup, in my opinion, strongly favors the Chicago White Sox. So I'm going to take the White Sox minus 105 as a first 5 inning bet over the Texas Rangers. Jesse, your comments.
Makes plenty of sense, Ross. I was looking at this and I wasn't sure what to do, especially with Kopech. I think he's allowed 1 run in his last 2 starts, but the White Sox lost both those games. So yeah, getting him for 5 innings is certainly a good way to attack it. I'm a big fan of the 5 inning plays. But Marty Perez, interesting guy, actually, because he's been around for a while. He used to be on the top of my fade list. He used to be a guy that got really hit hard often, but he's really put it together the last few years. You look at his home away splits this year, very interesting to me. A 1.71 ERA at home and a 6.50 ERA on the road. But like I said, I'm quite familiar with this guy. 4 years previous, every year, lower ERA on the road, significantly lower on the road than at home, and it just flips this year. So I'm hesitant to put a lot of weight into, even though those splits look very dramatic, very enticing, I'm hesitant to put too much weight there, and I'm hesitant to completely give up on Marty Perez this year. So, but I'm going to agree with your pick.
Yeah, it's not always about it completely. And again, I'm not disputing what you're saying, Jesse, but it's one thing to completely give up on a pitcher or not give up on him, either or. It's another thing when you're looking at a 1-game situation, you're looking at a guy who struggled at the ballpark he's pitching at tonight in his career. You're also looking, you gave his away numbers, but his last 4 away, He's been even worse than that, 8.55 ERA. So, Sean, your take.
So he's given up 12 homers this year. He gave up 11 all of last year, Perez. Believe it or not. I gotta say this is actually this matchup is my top play for today. So I really can't give out any information on this one. I'm sorry. Normally I already had some sales. Otherwise, I give it out. I feel bad if I give it here in the show and then someone saw me and bought it. I can't do that one, Rose. I'm sorry.
Jesse will give you Jesse will throw you a C note to give your play out on air. Anyway, all right.
I'll send them on Twitter for free.
Jesse, tell the folks where you prefer they find you, how you've been doing of late, or just simple what you got coming up, and also your free pick for today once again.
Okay, I got the San Francisco Giants as a home dog against San Diego. Where can you see me? You can see me on YouTube at Jesse Shule Picks. Just put out a couple football picks today. The first game of the college football season, gave out a pick on that a couple months early. So you want to check that out. You can follow me on Twitter at Jesse Shule. And check me out at jesseshule.com.
The college football store is open for Jesse Shule well ahead of time. The sale doesn't start to September, but Jesse's right there with August actually in college football. I'm not sure. Are those picks in the month of August?
August 26th.
Yeah, there you go. So can't wait, man. I can't wait for football season. I say that with mixed emotions because when you live in the Northeast, you really don't want to hurry through the summer. But when you're a sports handicapper, football is the main interest for everybody in the sports betting industry, and we look forward to that. Sean, tell the folks your free pick once again, and then also tell them whatever you want to do from a promotional standpoint on what's going on.
You got it. So we're going to look at Ohtani and the Angels on the run line today, plus a 130 over the Dodgers. You can find me on Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs. Sure, on the look at YouTube podcast for the Midday Money Show. It's live 7 days a week, 12 noon Eastern. I also do look at lines at night. That time varies a little bit. That's why, but notification bell line if you come to the YouTube channel, or whether it's a Picks and Parlays channel or Winning Free Picks, same channel. Same difference there. 4 and 5 yesterday on my baseball, but you know what? I think I made $5 because when you take a run line Yankees plus 180 and Orioles plus 150 and your loss is a D-backs plus 111. I don't get hurt there. So winning day before, even though we go 4 and 5, we put $5 in our pocket. It's chipping away. You're not going to step over $5 on the street. And I said to people, like, if there's $5 on the ground, you'd pick it up, right? No.
There's 5 cents on the ground. I'm picking it up, Sean.
Pick it up. It's all right. I'll move on to today. And I mentioned with the White Sox, Texas. Oh, sorry, Russ. Yeah, I was going to say White Sox, Texas, my top one today if you want to go get that. But a lot of plays up. 7 baseball total today. Wow.
Okay. Big day for Sean Higgs over at picksandparleys.net. Don't forget to check out Sean's podcast at Midday Money that goes 12 noon Eastern time every day, Monday through Sunday. You can get that right at the picksandparleys.net homepage. You can get it at the picksandparleys.net YouTube page, and also various streaming outlets across the internet. You could find me at rbwins.com, rbwins.com. A couple tough days in a row. I only gave out one pick on each day and lost, but still 39 and 29 with my last 68 in all sports, good for 57%. And as Sean knows, we'll take that all day, any day. And over $7,000 in profit through that course of time for dime bettors. And also, folks, don't forget our new website coming soon, gamblersworld.net, which you'll see these two gentlemen with me on that site. And we'll be adding some top-notch handicappers as well. And we look forward to that coming to fruition. Okay, guys, always a pleasure. We'll see you on Friday when you guys will be back. We'll be talking Major League Baseball once again. We'll be talking Major League Baseball tomorrow on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. As me and Doug Upstone will have 2 picks on the Friday card. We'll be recording late Thursday afternoon. So we'll be up and published on the YouTube channel somewhere around 6 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So keep track of that as well. For Jesse Shule, Sean Higgs, and Ross Benjamin, I'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.